What's up guys, it's Tommy here and Merry Christmas, Happy Holiday to you guys. And Liverpool are linked with a signing in the January transfer window of Kolo Muani, the French brilliant striker who is being pushed out at Paris Saint-Germain because they don't play him regularly. The manager doesn't fancy him and he's looking likely to move to the Premier League, with Liverpool wanting to sign him potentially on loan with an option to buy in the summer for a permanent transfer. But I think a loan transfer for half a season is a very low risk, potentially high reward transfer strategy. And with Kolo Muani definitely leaving PSG in the January transfer window, at least on loan, I think Liverpool would be foolish not to be interested in him and to bolster their title challenge. So Sky Germany are reporting that Liverpool are serious contenders to sign Kolo Muani from PSG in the upcoming January transfer window. And with Liverpool having Jota struggling with injuries, Darwin Núñez having a very up and down season, misfiring in front of goal, not getting that many chances, and Chiesa struggling with injuries as well, Liverpool might need another attacker, even though so far we have been great in front of goal. If Salah hits a cold spell, a dry spell, which will happen I think sooner or later, because that's just inevitable, that's the life of an attacker. You have a hot spell and sometimes you hit a wall where you can't score many goals in a run of 6, 7, 8 games. In that period, Kolo Muani could seriously help Liverpool's title challenge to get over the line. What do you think about this potential loan move in the January transfer window in the comments below? And let me know if you got any Christmas Liverpool themed presents. I would love to hear some nice stories from you guys. And of course, I hope that you guys are having a wonderful Christmas if you are celebrating it. And I'm gonna work even harder to make the best possible videos for you guys in 2025 as well. And we will look at Kolo Muani's career, his numbers so far, and also right now how is he faring for Paris Saint-Germain, and we will compare him even to Darwin Núñez, because I think that's a fair comparison. And Kolo Muani had a fantastic rapid rise in football because he was in Nantes in 2022, but then he joined Frankfurt. He had a sensational season there, scoring a lot of goals and getting a lot of assists, which made Paris Saint-Germain sign him for a staggering 95 million euros. So 1.5 seasons later, it's absolutely crazy that PSG are not fancying him, not playing him regularly, because this season he only started 2 games for Paris Saint-Germain and he scored 2 goals across 14 appearances, but most of those appearances were substitute appearances, cameos where he played 15 minutes, 20 minutes here and there, and the striker can't really get into form when he's playing that little. But his debut season at PSG was pretty impressive, we will look at that as well. But Liverpool are not alone in their pursuit for Kolo Muani. Premier League rivals Man United are linked with Kolo Muani, and even Arsenal and Man City apparently are interested in Kolo Muani. I mean, who wouldn't be? When can you sign a player worth 80 million pounds in his prime, which was 1.5 seasons ago, on loan for relatively low loan fee, and his wages are not astronomical at Paris Saint-Germain, I'm hearing. So this Kolo Muani's availability in the January transfer window is definitely an opportunity for a club to get a striker who has the potential to be world class if he can be unlocked by his next club, because he definitely has it in him to score a lot of goals and get a lot of assists. And he's just 26 years old, so he's still potentially not in his prime, and he has pace, versatility, and a proven ability to deliver in high pressure situations. And Liverpool could have an option to buy, so it's a win-win scenario. If Liverpool get him on loan for half a season, it's no risk, because if it doesn't work out, he just goes back to Paris Saint-Germain. But if it works out and he lights Anfield up and scores a lot of goals, then Liverpool can sign him permanently for a lot less than the 95 million euros, because I don't think Liverpool would agree a buyout clause or an option to buy of like 80 million pounds. I think it will be somewhere between maybe 40 and 50 million. And Sky Sports Germany reports that Liverpool are interested in Kolo Muani. He is leaving Paris Saint-Germain in January. There is no question about that. PSG put him on the transfer list, on the loan list, whatever you want to call it. And the current idea is a loan deal until the end of the season, and PSG are keen to include a buy option. They've somehow had a big falling out with Kolo Muani and PSG, or the hierarchy or the manager, I'm not sure. But it looks like PSG definitely want to move Kolo Muani on. And they want to get rid of him in January and get rid of him permanently in the summer. And according to L'Equipe, a loan deal is the most likely scenario with an option to buy in the summer. And I think there are a lot of clubs who potentially need Kolo Muani a lot more than Liverpool right now, namely Manchester United, Arsenal. So if it becomes a bidding war in terms of who pays the biggest loan fee for Kolo Muani, then I think Liverpool will pull out of this deal. And even Man City are interested in him, of course, after Man City have been struggling in relegation form in the last 12 games. Man City feel that Kolo Muani would enhance the options available to Pep Guardiola. Yeah, selling Julian Alvarez for 80 million was a great business by Man City. Not replacing him, however, was one of the worst decisions in Pep Guardiola's entire football career, because Haaland has hit a dry spell. As I said earlier, any striker, even one of the best strikers in the world, can hit a dry spell like Erling Haaland after being played into the ground, because Man City have literally nobody else to play striker. Kolo Muani could definitely save Man City's season if he clicks into gear, with Man City still creating loads of chances for their strikers. And here you can see that Kolo Muani, right now his current market value is 30 million euros after being pretty much frozen out from the PSG squad. At the height of his market value he was worth 80 million euros, so PSG definitely overpaid for him, but that's very frequent. I mean, Kolo Muani joined Frankfurt from Nantes in 2022 on a free transfer, so Frankfurt made an absolute killing, selling a free transfer 1 year later for 95 million euros as being an absolute stroke of genius by Frankfurt. And here you can see that this season he only played 453 minutes in all competitions, and he only has 2 goals and 1 assist in 14 games. But as you can see in the league, he only started 2 games, the first game of the season and game week 5. And since then, I mean, so out of the last 9 games, he hasn't played in 6 of those 9 league games in Paris Saint-Germain colors. And that's absolutely insane. But his first season in Paris Saint-Germain, last season, he was actually pretty good. He played 44 games, 12 goals and 6 assists. Still pretty underwhelming considering how dominant PSG are in the French league and how many goals they score. It's underwhelming from a striker, but he wasn't definitely first choice last season either. But at Frankfurt he had a marvelous season, 46 games, 23 goals and 17 assists. That's 40 goal contributions in 46 games, and he was playing a lot more in the Frankfurt team than he was at Paris Saint-Germain even last season. So at Frankfurt he was the first choice striker, and he was absolutely sensational. At Nantes in the 21-22 season he also had 13 goals and 7 assists in 41 games, which for a mid-table French club is a pretty decent return. So here are his overall numbers. As you can see, 76 goals and 49 assists in 246 games from basically the youth teams and some of the lower league level games included as well. And here is Randal Kolo Muani's scouting report for the last 1 year. So that includes the season where he played regularly for Paris Saint-Germain, and he's compared to other strikers and other attackers. And as you can see, in terms of non-penalty expected goals, he has 0.6 per 90 minutes, which is very, very good. That's world-class level. He's in the top 10%. And in terms of assists, also top 12% with almost 0.3 assists per 90 minutes. Sorry, he has one expected goal or contribution per 90 minutes, because the biggest problem is that his XG is 0.6 per 90, his actual goals are 0.2, which is ranking in the bottom 13%, which means that Randal Kolo Muani in the last 1 year has hit an absolute cold streak in front of goal, which means that he's underperforming his expected goals by a considerable margin, which is absolutely crazy considering that how good of a striker he is. It looks like he just forgot how to finish. In hindsight, maybe this is why Paris Saint-Germain wants to get rid of him, because they gave him a lot of chances last season. He got a lot of games, 44 games, and he just scored 12 goals, which means that he missed loads of chances for Paris Saint-Germain. And this season as well, he probably started the first 7 or 8 games, or played a lot in the first 7 or 8 games, and PSG realized that this Kolo Muani guy just forgot how to finish, and he was gradually phased out of the team. Looking at his numbers, that's the main reason. So in watching this and by judging by his metrics, because of his high wages and because of him being probably very low on confidence, when strikers don't score regularly, their confidence is in pieces, and I think Liverpool shouldn't sign him. I just looked at his expected goals first and not his actual goals, which is the first metric on this scouting report, and that's absolutely terrible. In terms of passes and progressive carries and successful take-ons, touches, he's doing all the right things, except the most important thing for a striker, which is putting the ball in the back of the net. And that's a very, very familiar story, and that's why I thought let's compare Darwin Núñez to Kolo Muani. Throughout their career from 22-23 season, they both played similar amount of games. Darwin has played 78 games, started 47. Kolo Muani has 70 games, but he started 48. So similar metrics. Núñez has 22 goals and 13 assists. Kolo Muani has 24 goals and 17 assists. And actually their expected goals is really interesting, because in this period, Kolo Muani has 23 XG, in total 25 XG, Darwin Núñez has 30, so from 25 XG, Kolo Muani scored 24 goals, and from 30 XG, Núñez scored 22, which means that Núñez even undershot his expected goals by a lot more, but this includes the season where he was absolutely sensational for Frankfurt. So if you are just looking at his Paris Saint-Germain career, in 1.5 seasons, he scored 14 goals. And that's absolutely shocking from a player, Kolo Muani, who plays in a Paris Saint-Germain team, who create loads of chances, mainly in the French League, but also in the Champions League. And I have been watching the Champions League games of Paris Saint-Germain, and the reason why they are in danger of getting knocked out is because they failed to finish their chances time and time again. Not just Kolo Muani, but the whole Paris Saint-Germain forward line has been misfiring in the whole Champions League campaign. They scored so many less goals than they should have. It's absolutely crazy. Just to summarize, I think if I was in charge of Liverpool, I wouldn't sign Kolo Muani even on loan, unless we get a big injury to Núñez or Jota or one of our other attackers. But now that Chiesa is coming back fit and Jota is back fit, we have 6 attackers who are all fit at the moment. Hopefully they can stay fit for the majority of the second half of the season. So just to conclude, I wouldn't sign Kolo Muani if I was Liverpool, but they are interested, and why wouldn't they be? It's basically a free hit signing Kolo Muani on a loan deal until the end of the season, very low risk. So let's wait and see what happens, and I hope Liverpool make a contract announcement video today, because Liverpool fans are desperately waiting for their big Christmas present. Apart from winning at Tottenham 6-3, how amazing would that be to get a Christmas present of Van Dijk announcing that he's staying at Liverpool for another 2 years. And Mo Salah this season has more Premier League goal contributions by Boxing Day than any other player in the history of the Premier League. 26 goals and assists combined, and he's even better than that crazy Luis Suarez season of 24 goal contributions in 2013-14. But remember, Suarez missed the first 5 games of that season through suspension because he beat Ivanovic in the Chelsea game in the previous season, where he got suspended for 8 games. And that's, Suarez was an absolute madman for Liverpool. But that, to this day, that was the best individual season I've seen of any player in the Premier League, the Suarez 13-14 season. If Salah keeps up this goal scoring rate with goals and assists, on average until the end of the season, he's ending on like 50 goal contributions in the Premier League, which would be absolutely crazy. And that would be then the best individual season of any player. But let's hope that Salah can stay fit and he can keep scoring goals, because then Liverpool have one hell of a chance to win the Premier League title. Thanks for watching, guys. Happy holidays again. I hope you are having a great Christmas. See you later. Goodbye.